What screams I'm not a good person? Also, subscribe, I am desperate. Disrespectful of people's personal property in their home. I know someone who had a co-worker house sit for them and the person completely rearranged the house. Needless to say, no one likes the co-worker anymore. What the fuck? Who in the hell thinks it's okay to do that? If you met this person, you would get it. She tried to tell someone it was their duty to do something after he told her he would be busy. What was the thing he had to do? Make a lot of his famous fried chicken for an event she was hosting. Bear in mind, at no point did he promise to do this for her. She asked him to and he said no. What kind of entitled asshole thinks it's okay to demand that kind of stuff from someone? This person. Never accepting blame for anything. That didn't happen. And if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, that's not a big deal. And if it is, that's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. Holy shit. There it is. All the options. Like a menu for assholes. The asshole menu. It's the narcissist's prayer. That's amazing. I'd never heard of that. Pretty brilliant. It comes up a lot in our politics for self-evident reasons. Talking shit about mutual friends when they're not around. If they'll do that with your other friends, damn sure they're doing it with you too. And being nice, speaking to you on your own, but in a group situation showing off and being a dick to you. Some people do this to everyone in the group. They act nice in private but throw each person under the bus in the group. It's a dick move because they deliberately built the expectation that they'd have your back around others. Then they quickly turn it around and attack some harmless thing you said, as some middle school power move to prove that they aren't beholden to anyone. I always roll my eyes when adults act that way. Constantly telling people you are a good person. I too am extraordinarily humble. Your humbleability pales next to my own exquisite humbleness. Laughing at, making fun of other people's interests and hobbies. I hate this. My favorite thing in the world is watching people's faces as they explain something they love. My coach at my gym has explained this one thing to me like 8 times, but I never stop him because I can see how much he loves coaching. When something makes someone happy, when it makes their whole face light up, it's wonderful, and anyone that tries to extinguish that is a garbage person. Being a dick to everyone else, then trying to excuse that behavior by saying I'm just brutally honest. I was only saying defense. It's funny how they never are only saying something nice. It's always a put down. No offense, but you are super ugly. Word? Full offense. You're a terrible person. I know this sounds manipulative and rude, but manipulative statement, shit like that. Just I know this sounds, or I am not being underscore, but statements in general. I'm not racist, but terrible racist statement. People will always blame everyone else for leaving them. Like all my exes were crazy is probably not true. You probably did something to drive them off the edge. Not being introspective enough to realize you're the root of your problems is probably one. In many cases, it isn't that the all my exes were crazy types drove their exes over the edge, it's that the exes were completely normal, and the assholes just interpret that normal behavior as crazy. And then there's the 1 in a million person that really did end up hooking up with a chain of crazy stalkers. There are also those that gravitate to a certain type of toxic relationship. In some cases it very well could be that the main problematic element is in fact the exes. What you won't hear them say is that they keep making the same choices and getting the same results. Yeah, I always gravitated to a specific kind of relationship because I equated emotional abuse with love, since that's what I grew up with. Fortunately realized that was a horrible cycle and started actively working to break it. punching down. That is treating those below you badly, be that at work, service workers, children, etc., because you perceive yourself as higher status. If you want to know what a man's like, take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals. Sirius Black. The true measure of a man is how he treats someone who can do him absolutely no good. Samuel Johnson. The true measure of a man is how he treats some motherfucker who can do him absolutely no good. Samuel Jackson. Littering. Went on a first date with a girl. We just finished playing laser tag, got blizzards from DQ. And when she's done she just throws it out the window. Instant deal breaker. Why do people do this? I just don't understand. Should have pulled over and kicked her out, but then you'd be no different than her. Pull over, kick her out, pick up the trash she chucked. I honestly don't get why folk throw trash out the window of a car. It's not hard to keep it in there and chuck it in a bin at home or a public bin. Divorced from consequence. They don't associate the act with the negative result because they're not the one having to deal with it. They do associate doing the right thing with a negative consequence because then they have to expend effort for someone else's benefit. What do you mean I have to carry this rubbish with me until I see a bin? But the bin is all the way over there, and you're the one that cares about it, not me. People who proudly state that they are assholes and have no intentions to change for anyone. The world doesn't revolve around you, quit being a dick. People think that being self-aware completely ameliorates anything they've done wrong. It's one of the most obnoxious things. Never paying debts, even small ones. If you borrow money, even $1, with the promise to pay back, do so. The best ones are the ones where you ask for your money back and they're all damn seriously, you're asking me for those $5 back? It's just $5. Yeah it is, yet here you were a couple of weeks ago desperately asking for just $5. Someone told me before it's just $40 you have money, man. I wanted to beat the shit out of them. I fucking hate that. Don't ever ask me for shit again with that attitude. Singer in a band I was in owed the other guys money, but not me. After the band broke up and they tried to get it back, he was like, I don't see why I owe you money when the band's not even together anymore. That's how he's always been too. 7 years later he's still getting sacked from every job he gets for his bullshit attitude. $40 well spent to never talk to a fuck like that again. Too proud to apologize. Playing music audibly on public transport when others can hear. See also, FaceTiming without headphones. Treating wait staff badly. If they're willing to be rude to someone in public, I can only imagine the kinds of stuff they say in private. Anyone who relies on a service and then demeans those who provide that service are complete garbage. Like, I can understand why you might not see a job at McDonald's as a great career. But if you want to be able to seat your fucking McNuts, you have to respect the people providing them. Changing lanes without using your turn signals. Apologizes in Florida. You have too many things to apologize for, Florida. Being rude because you haven't had your coffee yet or some similar excuse. Be an adult like the rest of us and learn to control your emotions regardless of your caffeine intake. Leaving your shopping cart in a parking space. Anti-vaxxers. People that make their cats go vegan. Someone who goes out of their way to insult, criticize anyone or for the smallest mistake, or inconsistency. People recording themselves giving homeless people money or food for social media. When a person thrives and builds a community off of the insecurities of others. For example, by picking on somebody and playing it off as a joke continuously, or constantly bringing up how lonely people would be without them. They tend to lack any encouraging words and don't ever say anything complimentary. If I could choose one phrase to describe these people, it would be not to be rude or anything, but Schrodinger's bag. judging whether or not what you just said was a joke depending on the reaction of people around you. I love that. Gonna steal it. Pushing a boy out of a tower window to keep banging your sister a secret. Too soon. Coughing, sneezing without covering your mouth, nose properly. This deserves gold. My roommate would sneeze on me on purpose. Needless to say, we are not friends. Having severed heads of children on their mantle. Just because they have bad taste in home decor doesn't make them a bad person. Not mounting them to the wall sounds lazy to me. Maybe they have plaster walls and don't want to have to patch them when they move out. Ignoring people. Hating other people just because they like something you don't enjoy. Being flaky. Agreeing to do things then not even having the common courtesy to let you know they aren't going to show up. That's a common sign of clinical depression. Half of this shit in this thread is explainable by things other than not being a good person. People just always like to assume the worst of people. Oh, he must just be an asshole. I think it's called Hanlon's razor. Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malice what can adequately be explained by incompetence. You just saved me a Google. Thanks.